My name is Leona, and I was abused by a paedophile ring.
My name is James Busby. I'm a hairdresser. When people sit in the chair, all I know is their name, never their story. Yeah, it's terrible. Next in the chair is Leona.
Hello.
Hello, it's Leona.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
I'm James. Do you want to come take a seat? Right, Leona, what are we doing?
Basically, I just want the dead ends to be... I just want it to look nice.
And that is actually quite a nice length on you. So I think if we balance that out, create a bit of a texture and a shape.
Yes.
Come over, yeah? Come round. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Sheffield.
Okay.
But I moved down to Norfolk around 14 years ago.
Okay.
To get away from a grooming ring.
All right.
And then the stuff started when I was 13. So I was basically being sold, beaten and drugged by a number of people that were running this ring of many, many, many young people.
That's awful.
The men that they were ranging from mid-20s to late 40s.
So it's a big network.
Chesterfield, Bradford, Rotherham. Eventually I found out a police officer was one of the people that I'd paid to abuse me. I got picked up as a missing child. He was the one that picked me up and told me that I was wasting police resources. How do you think my family are feeling?
Right.
And I'm just like...
Where do you turn?
Who am I meant to trust? They're very clever, these people. They go for the ones that are vulnerable and they use it to their advantage to hurt us. Well, I was shy,
okay.
I was quiet, reserved. I met the woman that initially recruited me to it when I was 12.
Right, bloody hell.
It's a common misconception that it's just the men that do this. It wasn't, it was a woman.
So only like a few years older or relatable age?
Yeah, she was literally a couple of years older than me. She was around 16 when I met her, Amanda Spencer. At first, she just wanted to be my friend. Like, she was funny and she was kind and she was caring.
There's building a relationship, like over time. That's the sort of process of what you've been through. I
felt safe. And that feels mad saying that because everything that followed, but she was my best friend. And I did love her. And then the party started to happen.
Really?
At first, the uncomfortable parts was just the fact of the age of the men compared to the girls that was there.
Yes.
I felt safe with her because she'd made me feel safe.
Really?
After a while of doing this quite regularly, she said, I've just heard of another one we can go to. We got drove there. And there was nobody there except from 3 grown men and me and Amanda. And then I got handed my drink and then I woke up in the room with one of the men.
Right.
And that was the first assault that happened. And then after it had happened, she came in with 3 men and they all beat me and told me that if I said anything, they'd burn my house down. My mum's disabled, she wouldn't have been able to get out. If I leave, if I do anything, they're replacing me with my sister, who was 11 at the time, so...
Yeah, it's terrible. So that's their way of locking you in to the cycle.
I had a few days of being inside that place where they was beating me and drugging me quite regularly.
And what's going through your mind at that point? Like, what are you thinking?
They can't hurt my family.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. Every time we get a phone call or if we get a text, we know we have to answer that. We know we have to be where they say. So if you're in a class at school and you get a text, you make an excuse, you need the toilet, and then you go outside the school and you wait to be picked up.
From what age does that finish?
I left a few months before I turned 15. I got a phone call from my biological dad saying that he wanted to have a relationship with me after a long time of not being in contact. And I just used that as my get out of jail, like. So I went home, I packed a suitcase, explained to my mum I was leaving, and then at 7:30 that next morning, I was on a bus to the train station, and I was waiting at the train station to leave Sheffield for good.
And gone.
After moving to Norwich, I got a phone call from my psychiatric team telling me that Sheffield police had turned up and wanted to speak to me about Amanda Spencer. And I could tell you that I felt like the earth swallowed me.